Hey everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we'll be going over the newest matchmaking tier 20 ship, that is Yushen. That is not her original name. Her original name is Hainan, but I already have a Hainan in the terms of 037, so I've renamed her Yushen, which is the name of the class. Now we will be going over her and why I actually am not a big fan of this ship, but before that we haven't done a video in some time, so let's go over all the other updates and additional information that has come out during this time. Alright, so this is the first update that came out around May 18th. Not many changes here. Looks like we have a new Admiral flag, some changes to torpedo damage for Japanese carriers and US carriers, change of main battery rate for Des Moines and the Space Des Moines. For me, that would be Newport News. Gearing has some changes to her torpedoes, looks like some buffs. And then Z1 also has some changes in terms of her hydro detection range for ships is increased, and her hydro detection range for torpedoes is increasing as well. So all very good stuff, but nothing really that new. Next we have a May 25th update here. We now have a new Japanese destroyer for preview, that is Hikaze. I don't know if this ship is out or not yet. Last I knew it was a preview, but that could have since changed. This one is the rank point destroyer that looks similar to Shimakaze, but instead of having 3 quintuple torpedo mounts, it has 2 septuple torpedo mounts, or it has 7 torpedo tubes per each torpedo mount. It is, like I said, it is a rank point ship, and I really have no interest in this ship at all. But it is at a lower matchmaking, so 14 torpedoes will be very, very powerful. We have another sister ship of the German battleship H-42. We already have one, so I'm not sure why they added another one. It's not like it's a prism camo or anything like that. It's just a normal coupon camo. There's no additional buffs or anything. It does look pretty nice, and I like how you have an option of having the 2 different camos. But honestly, you can't play the ship with both of them at the same time, obviously, so it might as well just choose one or the other, honestly. And then we have some changes to Soviet destroyers. A Leningrad gets a heel now, which is very, very nice. She is the only destroyer at this tier that gets one, I think. No, there's also Udachi. Udachi gets a heel. Well, anyway, Leningrad now has a heel as well, and some changes made to Tashkent and Grozovoy for their heels. They do lose a heel. They have only 2 of them instead of 3. The duration for these heals only lasts 10 seconds instead of 30 seconds, but the amount of HP you can regenerate increases from 12% all the way up to 25%. So you have some nerfs and some buffs. I haven't really played these ships with the new heal, so I can't really say if they're good or not. But there you have it. Some increased HE damage for Grozov, Nuthrashimi and Luda. And then here's the increase in HE for Grozovoy, and a little bit better concealment as well, which is always nice for destroyers. And then some changes to rank rewards. I'm not really worried about that. Next, we have a preview of another new ship. So there's still 2 ships out there that we're still waiting on that we've received information on. So that would be the French carrier that had the jets on it, the Crusaders. We're still waiting on her. And then the Iowa class that had the Worcester turrets as her secondary battery. We still haven't seen her yet, but now we have another ship to add to that list. There's literally no information about the ship. It's literally just pictures. There's no name, no tier, no weapons, no nothing. It's a destroyer, obviously, but it does look like it has some interesting perks. I'm expecting it to be another Pan-Asian or Chinese destroyer, just like Luda. So let's take a look to see what we can infer from these pictures. And there are 3 pictures that I will show you. So it looks like it's going to be a very, very big ship. So easy target. So you will have to play pretty defensively depending on its health. If it gets a heal, that'd be nice and different, but probably not. It looks like it has 3 twin turrets, possibly a 5.1 inch or 130mm caliber. Potentially also rapid firing and dual purpose as well. That'd be nice to make her a good AA ship. She does have some vertical launch missiles here, but I highly doubt those will be implemented in the game. We have torpedo tubes, as you can see here on the amidships. 2 quintuple torpedo tubes. I don't really expect much from these, honestly, but you can get a good look at the AA. You have some, looks like some 57 mils on the side, and then some more vertical launch missiles in the rear. And then on the back, you have another potentially 130 millimeter turret, and you get a helicopter, which would make this the second destroyer in the game to get a helicopter or any kind of aircraft. Second, because Halford, which is the Prism Fletcher ship, has one quadruple or quintuple torpedo tube, and then either fighters or some spotters. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, it is a very large ship, though, so it's going to be very, very easy to hit her. But maybe she'll have some interesting consumables, and honestly, she looks like a nice ship, honestly. These Chinese destroyers, they do have some very nice lines. Luda was interesting, but this one does look very nice. So hopefully more information about that in the future. Alright, and here is the next update that came out. We now have Toulouse available in the gem shop, so the event for her is probably over. I haven't played Naval Creed in actually quite some time, so I don't know. But from the looks of it, it looks like the event's over, but you can still buy her using gems in the gem shop, which is nice. Jean Bart has a new sister ship, which for me that is Clemenceau. I have renamed this sister ship Toulon, and we can take a look at her in a moment. Prince of Wales, which is an event ship, now has increased HE fire chance, which it really did not need. The ship already burned everything in its path before this, and now it just burns it even better. Really, really fun ship if you have her. Just full HE spam everything. The Prism ship Zara has some increased HE damage and HE pen. Haven't played it with these buffs, but maybe they'll make the ship a little bit better. I'm not really a fan of Zara, honestly. When it comes down to it, even Algerie is better. So yeah, Lion has some change to her rate of fire. And then we have some changes to Japanese battleship Omi. I think that's Shinomi for me. So removing the concealment bonus of sister ship. And the last thing we have before we go over Yushen is additional French destroyers. So let's take a look. All right, yes, we are getting another tech tree line, and here is a picture of what it would look like. So we have Boresque at 5.0, Aigol at 6.0, Vauquelin at 7.0, Le Terrible at 8.0, Lafayette at 8.9, Mogador at 9.6, and we also have a few non-tech tree ships. We have a T-47 1956 version at 8.9, a T-53 1958 version at 9.6, and a La Galissonière Cruiser 1963 version at 8.0. And there are some stats for all of these ships. I am really excited for these destroyers. French ships are just one of my favorites in this game. So let's take a look to see what we have here. All right, so it is still work in progress, so these stats are still subject to change here. So Boresque at 5.0, we have 4 single 5.1 inch guns, or 130 mils. We have 2 triple 550s, so those are, what are those? I think those are 17s? Hold on. Nope, I was very much off. 550s are 21.6 inch torpedo tubes, so actually pretty large. All mounted on the center line. This is important because not all French destroyers have centerline torpedoes, which we will see in a second. Aigol at 6.0. We have 5 single 139mm turrets, so those are the 5.4s that we find on Le Fantasque. Those are really, really strong guns. They might not shoot as fast as other destroyers, nor turn as fast as other destroyers, but if you get 5 shells onto a destroyer, it's gonna hurt so hard. We have 2 triple 550mm torpedo tubes, again all mounted on the center of the hull, so we just get an extra gun, but that's also very nice. Vauquelin, we still have the same amount of guns, but we have 1 triple mounted on the center of the hull, and then we have 2 dual launchers on the sides of the hull. So technically we lose a torpedo on the broadside, whereas Aigol can fire 6 torpedoes out to a side, Vaclin can fire 5 to one side and then 2 immediately to another side. So the number of torpedoes she gets increases, but the number she can fire per broadside decreases. So I also am assuming we'll get some increase in AA along with all of these. Brask is 5, Eichel is 6, Vaclin is a tier 7. So at 7 we are starting to see quite a few strong carriers, and 8 is really when it starts to step up. These are standard destroyers. The characteristic of these ships mounted the largest caliber guns of the conventional destroyers, but the low muzzle velocity and short barrel length guns make bad trajectory and equipped with weak torpedoes. So it sounds like these guns are not going to have insane shell velocity, which is fine. And then their torpedoes are going to be pretty weak as well. But maybe they will have French torpedo angles like Le Fantasque does. That would be amazing. Highly doubtful, and probably until higher tier destroyers, but it would still be nice. These ships do look like they will be fun. Alright, now, oh, here we go. We do actually have consumables as well. Damage control, smoke screen, and engine boost. So, yeah, pretty straightforward. Not a lot. I'm expecting these ships to be very, very fast as well, considering they are just like Le Fantasque. Part 2 of the tech tree, we have Le Terrible at 8.0, so she will be, I guess you can say, going against Le Fantasque, but she can be compared against Le Fantasque as well. So we have 5 single 139s, same as Le Fantasque, and 3 triple 550mm torpedo launchers. So one mounted on the center of the hull, and others mounted on both sides of the hull. So whereas Le Fantasque has 2 triples on the sides, this one actually gets another launcher, I'm assuming in the rear where it's supposed to go, which will give her a broadside of 6 torpedoes, which will actually make her a pretty decent torpedo boat actually. Le Fantasque is not really known for having good torpedoes, just good torpedo angles. But having the same number of guns is very nice. I expect her AA to be probably a little bit less than Le Fantasque, just so Le Fantasque has a leg up over the tech tree still. But her speed is still going to be astronomically high. Next we have Lafayette. We have 3 twin 139mm turrets. So now we have 6 guns we can fire instead of 5, so always nice. 2 triple torpedo launchers and 2 dual torpedo launchers mounted on both sides of the hull. So we have a triple and a twin on the left side and the right side. So when we are broadsiding, we can only use 5 torpedoes for a broadside, which actually is not that much. This is tier 9 at this point, so we have ships like, well, for example, Fletcher, who can put 10 torpedoes out to his side. So that already means that her ability to actually launch torpedoes or be a good torpedo boat is not going to be that good. So I'm expecting these French destroyers to be good gunboats overall. And then Mogador is pretty much a step up. We have 4 dual turrets of 139mm guns, 2 triple and 2 dual 21.6 torpedoes on both sides as well. So the same thing as Lafayette, except we have an extra gun. So I'm expecting very, very good gun performances at these higher tiers. Let's find out. These are large high-speed destroyers in the late 30s, mounted 139mm long barrel length guns that have a perfect trajectory and high damage. Perfect trajectory, that's interesting. So yeah, it sounds like these are going to have the higher shell velocity and better gun characteristics that we were expecting. These guns are different from Le Fantasque in the game. Interesting. We'll have long fire range than other destroyers, so it looks like an increased range and a 1/5 HE penetration ratio, which lots of cruisers have. So these ships literally have cruiser guns on them. That's actually really awesome. So not only do you have extremely large guns for a destroyer, actually the largest guns for any destroyer. Le Fantasque has held that title for a long time at 139, because the second largest is 130, which a lot of Russian destroyers have. But if they all have 139mm turrets, then geez, that's going to be a lot of HE damage. The ship can penetrate most of the cruiser holes, and sacrifice is a low fire rate in normal TPM. Okay, so your rate of fire is decreased, but you can actually pen cruisers with potentially HE. They might be talking about AP here, though. I'm not really sure. These ships make the ships need to use their advantage of trajectory to prevent being suppressed by high fire rate destroyers during these close combats. So it sounds like you want to keep your range because your flat trajectory means you can hit targets at range better. So in terms of, let's say, a Benson versus a Le Fantasque, yes, the Benson has increased fire rate, but the Fantastic shells hit harder and shoot faster, potentially have more range. I actually don't know. So yeah, you just want to kind of use your flat broadside and your maneuverability to avoid shells while also slapping the other enemy quickly because your shell velocity means they can't really react that much. Okay, so that makes sense. Let's see what else they have. The ship's anti-air is not enough to defend themselves. Well, there goes the idea of them being AA ships. They mainly use their high speed of greater than or equal to 40 knots against air threats. So, as of right now, with all my speed buffs applied, my Le Fantasque goes over 51 knots. I think it actually goes 54 knots or something like that. Some absurd number of speed. I can increase that with speed boost, but I choose not to. So if these ships have the same amount of speed, they're going to be so hard to hit at range. A large hull makes the concealment worse than standard destroyers. Makes sense. Also, I expect these to have terrible maneuverability at high speeds. It'll be like turning a brick, so pretty much play these as like scout cruisers or light cruisers. That'll probably be the best way to play these ships, kind of like how you play Tashkent and Grozovoy. The torpedoes will have high damage but a low fire rate and normal fire range. Okay, so high damage torpedoes, slow reloading, and nothing special about their range also. And then Lafayette is a variant of the Mogador class, not the stealth. Okay, so that's just specifying which that one it is. The three main turrets, oh, there's only one in the front and two in the back, so it's like a Yukikaze. So it should be very good at kiting away from enemy ships with her high speed. And if you launch torpedoes behind her with the potentially good Le Fantasque arcs, she can technically increase her range that way. That'd be very interesting to play her. Alright, consumables. Duration of damage control is similar to cruisers, making players use wisely during close combat. Alright, so your consumables are not going to be as amazing as normal destroyer consumables. I'm expecting a long recharge for them, so you'll have to use them efficiently and effectively. Smoke can be changed to repair. Oh, we have a heal on these destroyers. Oh god. Alright, so not only do we have amazing guns and insane speeds, but we also have a heal. They're just copy-paste of Tashkent. Detail of repair consumable will depend on the balance results, so we don't have those yet. And engine boost will have more efficiency and duration. So a longer lasting engine boost as well. Nice. So the first few destroyers look like they're going to be pretty standard as to what we already have in the game. And the higher tier destroyers look like they're going to be pretty good, actually. Good guns. Potentially okay torpedoes. Like I said, they really don't have that many torpedoes, but if they do high damage, then it might be good against cruisers at least. And then, yeah, these seems to be really fun. I'm intrigued to see what the rate of fire is for these guns, to see how much of an HE spammer these ships can be. Next, we have part 3. We have T-47, which is the 1956 version, I think, if I remember correctly. 3 dual 127mm turrets, so we dropped down to 5-inch guns. This was a 8.9 matchmaking ship, so this is a 9.0. We have 4 triple torpedo launchers mounted on both sides of the hull. So, what it looks like is you take Yukikaze guns and you put them on a Benham hull, and that's kind of what you're getting here. Because we're having 6 torpedoes per side, so we actually have an increase over Lafayette there. That's funny. But we do drop down in gun size, or gun caliber, but that actually may increase the rate of fire for those guns. So that'll be interesting. I wonder if it's in a 1-4, 2-aft layout again. That'd be interesting. And then T-53, which is the 1958 version, I think. Looks like the same armament, but other than that, it doesn't specify. What are these? These are anti-air destroyers built by the French Navy during the 1950s. Main batteries is the 127, 54, Mark 16. So this is the guns used on Cheyenne, and the secondaries on Montana. Interesting. Compared to Gearing and Fletcher, the speed of these French destroyers are a little bit slow. Really? Well, Gearing and Fletcher go about 35, 36 knots. So if these are slower than that, they're going to struggle in a destroyer fight. Long barrel lengths have strong firepower, better trajectory, and longer fire range. They won't be longer than other 139mm guns, so you'll still be outranged by other French destroyers, but it looks like you may be able to take on any other destroyer and have a range advantage. Interesting. And then compared to the short barrel 127s on US destroyers, the fire rate is lower. That's fine, because United States destroyers just are rapid fire machine guns, honestly. More torpedoes, but lack of mass, and the layout isn't convenient to use. So, yeah, we do get more torpedoes, like I thought, but it doesn't look like they'll be nearly as strong. So, yeah, these are primarily looking like very, very good AA ships. I'm excited to see the 127 Mark 50 or Mark 16 guns on the destroyer. I mean, Cheyenne is amazing. It just tears everything apart. That ship is so fun. So we're putting half of that on a destroyer. Interesting. I'm excited for these ships as well. I do want to know what the difference between the 8.9 and the 9.6 is, though. I'm assuming it comes down to, well, probably AA defense, because the armament is the same. It says both their speeds are pretty trash. I'm expecting probably 32 or 33 knots. So some, like, Japanese cruisers will be outrunning you, honestly. And then the torpedoes look pretty trash as well. So it looks like it'll come down to guns and, well, AA. Nice. All right, durability and concealment will be between large destroyers that use 139mm and for guns and standard destroyers. So potentially a bit higher health than normal destroyers, and retrospectively also higher detectability. Nice. So standard destroyer set, damage control, smoke, engine boost. Cool. And then engine boost can also be changed to anti-air defense. So just like Le Fantasque there. Okay. So if you look at it, Le Fantasque as an anti-air destroyer, because she does have actually really good damages, it's just the ranges that are trash. And she can also equip an anti-air defense. So she's like the 8.0 French AA destroyer, and then these are the 9.0 and technically 10.0. So interesting. And then the last one we have is La Galissonière 1963. I'm still pretty sure. Oh, it's not the cruiser. Okay, so this is another destroyer. So yeah, right off the bat, she has two single 100mm guns. So she has two 4-inch guns. That is it. I don't know what you're planning to destroy with that. I thought you what is it? Yushen? No, Yushen is the ship going over. The 2.0 French, or not French, Chinese cruiser, Yatsen, that's it is. She has two 6-inch guns and is completely underpowered and can't do anything. She has bigger guns than this ship. At least this one has two triple 21.6 torpedo launchers mounted on both sides of the hull. Alright, so it's like a Le Fantasque torpedo layout, one triple on each side. She does get a helicopter though. Okay, so we have another destroyer coming out with a helicopter. Interesting. And the last ship of T-53 class, which was an anti-submarine test ship. It's not the light cruiser. Compared to the other sister ships, this ship has a lot of differences. So she has no 57mm anti-air guns, only half the amount of torpedoes, no 127mm main batteries. Instead, she mounts two single 100mm guns. I don't see any pluses so far. This modernized gun has a very high fire rate and is lightweight, being the standard guns of the French Navy for half a century. Okay. Significant improvement is mounted. Oh, so There's an anti-submarine missile, but we can't use it. She will have a lower matchmaking weight due to a lack of weapons against surface threat obtained by the non-research way. I honestly don't see the point of the ship at all. We lose torpedoes, we lose guns. The guns that we have are utter garbage. Yes, they might have a fire rate, but if anyone's played Akazuki, you know how trash 4-inch guns are at high tier. Yeah, not really looking forward to this one. Or let me rephrase that. The way that this describes the ship, I'm not looking forward to it. What I am looking forward to it is a good reason to play this ship. Besides the helicopter, which that other Chinese destroyer that we looked at pictures of just a moment ago, that also comes with a helicopter and actually comes with useful armament. So when this thing is packed to the brim with AA, well, even then it says no 57mm anti-air guns. So I don't know what the point of this ship is at all. But hopefully we will find out. So those are the upcoming ships. No idea when they will actually appear. It may not be for many, many months, but it is something to look forward to. So we have a tech tree of 6 destroyers, 2 other AA destroyers, and then 1 questionable destroyer. I don't think it actually even said it was a destroyer or not. It doesn't. Anyways, that is all that we have so far. So let's go back to the game and show you the new stuff in game. Alright, so first things first, let's show off that new Japanese destroyer, Hainan. I don't even think I'm going to be changing its name because I really don't care. So as you can see, it's clearly a Shimakaze, same guns, same hull, same everything, except the torpedo launchers have 7 of them instead of 5. So yes, you have a lot of torpedoes, but actually when it comes down to Shimakaze, you actually lose a torpedo. And if you lose one of your torpedo mounts, that's half your armament gone. But it does look like these torpedoes will be very, very powerful. 21,200 damage, only 12.5 kilometer range. But, I mean, yeah, you're still just the Shimakaze pretty much. Still 39 knots. You have your 3 twin 127s. Nothing all that special. Do you get an increase in AA at all? Probably not. Can I look? Thank you. Nope, still trash AA. Yeah, I'm not really interested in this ship at all. Not my cup of tea. French. New sister ship. This is the sister ship for Clemenceau or Jean Bart. We got Vive la France on the side, and we even have Jean Bart on the tail. Very nice actually looking ship. I do like the French flag on the turrets. That is very nice. You now have a coat of arms on the main turrets, and then you have the French flag on the forecastle, the forecastle, and yeah, pretty nice. I do enjoy it. Cool. Next, we have the second sister ship for H-42, and this is what she looks like. I have called her Prince Friedrich as of right now, but that may be subject to change because it doesn't really fit in the naming tab that I can use. So that may still change. But the other one was pretty much a white color chip, and this one has a lot more black in it. And it does look pretty mean. And I have been running her like this since the camo came out. It is really nice. Besides that, there really isn't any other change that we can see in the game. So, finally, we are now getting to Yushen after almost a half hour. But that's alright. So Yushen is a matchmaking tier 20 ship. Not really a fan of this ship, but she is also not terrible. She has an interesting matchmaking. We'll go over that in a second. So Hainan, we have 85,000 health, a 35% torpedo damage resistance, only up to 40mm of armor, so we do have an armored deck. However, I haven't really had the chance to use it or see it in action, mainly because the best way to sink the ship is through torpedoes. Or at least in my experience it is. The torpedoes on the ship are amazing. So armor is meh. It's there though. Hangar capacity, we have 40 aircraft. So a lot better than Lining. We have a better aircraft pool there. Speed, 22 knots. So we are god-awful slow. Don't expect to get anywhere quickly. And then we only have 1 layout for aircraft. No fighters. We have 3 squadrons of torpedo bombers with 2 aircraft each, and 3 squadrons of dive bombers with, again, 2 aircraft each. Now, these aircraft, I say that with a loose term because you're actually flying helicopters. It looks like these are the Chinese version of the Black Hawk. Don't actually really know how well these compare to them, but we still have them. So let's go over what they are. Looks like they're Z-20Ss, U-7s. Not really sure what those are. Anyway, so these are the torpedo bombers. Very, very slow aircraft. I'm going to say that right off the bat. That is one of the main drawbacks of the ship is that, yes, you have really strong armaments for your ship, but it just takes so long to get to the target, and they don't have that much health, honestly. They fall apart really, really quickly. But we have pretty strong torpedoes, 9,600 damage each. They go 65 knots, mind you. That's the fastest torpedoes we have in the game, or at least airdrop torpedoes. And then torpedo range is 11 kilometers. So you can drop out from, well, 11 kilometers and have the torpedoes hit targets. Usually torpedo ranges for airdrop torpedoes are anywhere between 2 and 4 kilometers. So this is more than double that in the best case. Chance of flooding is only 42%, but each aircraft drops 2 torpedoes. So we're dropping 12 torpedoes at a time that go 65 knots. This thing can one-shot pretty much any low-tier battleship that it comes across. And then for dive bombers, same aircraft. Bomb damage is only 4,000, which isn't actually that much. The fire chance is really good at 48%, but you're dropping 8 bombs per aircraft. And again, you have 6. I'm pretty sure that's like 48 bombs. Yeah, it is actually. So 48 bombs. That is a lot of firepower. But again, your slow speed means it takes you a while to get to the target. Your health means you get shot down pretty quickly. And even if you have 40 aircraft on the ship, that does go away pretty quickly. And then your ship itself is pretty slow. And I found myself on the receiving end of multiple, surface ships. And you don't last very long because you are a very, very big target. We can actually go over secondaries as well. Gotta remember where those are. Okay, so it looks like they're back here. Yes, okay, so these are, let me get rid of this. Missile launchers right here. And I think there's a couple others along the ship. Yeah, yep, there's one up there. Anyways, they're just technically still just secondaries. They just launch from one spot. They are pretty fun, not gonna lie. It is very amusing to sink a ship with what is pretty much a glorified rocket launcher. And then your AA is okay as well. You have some pretty substantial Chinese CIWS mounts. I'm not actually sure what these are, but you do have quite a few of them along your ship. And your AA is pretty decent. I do have her maxed out at full AA. You can see the stats there. Not much is going to get through to this ship at all. Alright, so enough talking about the ship. Let's actually play her. Oh, actually, nope. Before that, we do have consumables. We have damage control. We have an anti-air missile, which is pretty much just a def AA. And then we also get another radar. It goes out to 70 kilometers, so the entire map, no matter where you are. 2.5 meters, so it's a accurate radar. Wherever the radar scan is showing the ship is, that's where it is. It lasts for 240 seconds. It takes a minute to reload, but you can use it 3 times. Honestly, I don't even think you can use all 3 of your radars before the game is over, but who knows. So let's toss her into a game. Now, as the timer for the game actually does come up here, I didn't go over the matchmaking, so I wanted to do that before we get tossed into a game. The matchmaking is really strange. For Liaoning, it's always tier 20 game or tier 10 games, but for Yushen, I have actually been placed into a 6.5 matchmaking game, as I have been again. I don't know if this is going to be something the ship always comes across, or if that'll be changed. But as of right now, you are just absolutely curb stomping tier 7 ships. Honestly though, she isn't bad at this tier. Her slow aircraft means she can actually not suffer that much because you one-shot everything you come across. There's not much here that has a lot of AA defense. Alright, so we are immediately going to start heading towards Alpha. I do have health buffs and speed buffs, so do keep that in mind. And let's start getting out our aircraft. So yeah, the ship itself is not terrible. I just really struggle with slow aircraft when it comes to carriers. That's why I really don't like low tier ships like Langley. Um, yeah, she is a starting carrier, but oh man, it's just pulling teeth trying to get to the target. And then once you get to the target, they all get shot down anyways. Or if they don't get shot down, they can't hit anything. So it really sucks sometimes. But we do have a cool view of helicopters. That this is like the first attack helicopter we can actually use in the game. There are other helicopters like we see on like Mikhail Kutuzov and ships like that, but those are just counted as fighters, not necessarily as attack aircraft. But you can see how we're just crawling across the sky. Honestly, pop a radar, see what we have here. And so we have a couple ships up there, a few ships coming down the middle here. And yeah, even with speed boost, I'm only going 25.1 knots. So honestly, I'm going to be outrun by pretty much every battleship in this game. And I might put up a good fight against Colorado, unfortunately. A lot of battleships, none that really have a lot of AA though. That works out for me. Again, we're using 65 knot torpedoes and 48 bombs for our dive bombers. Ooh, there's the Colorado. I'm gonna go say hi to her. I'm gonna see if I can take out this Gneisenau now here. Also, I'm pretty sure the drop patterns for the bomb is very interesting. I will go back to that once I actually bomb the Colorado. But let's drop the Gneisenau now with our torpedoes first. I don't really know if we need all 6 of them. Or actually 12. Yeah, I don't think we need all 12, but we're going to anyways. Just shoom. Gone. Alright, dive bombers. Let's go after the Colorado. See, it actually doesn't go widthways. It goes, well, it doesn't go lengthways. It goes as a widthways dive bomb. So we already lost one of them. But let's see what kind of damage we get. 5 secondaries destroyed. We set off a powder magazine. And we got 2 fires. That's awesome. I don't know what that powder magazine was, though. That's interesting. Alright, and then we just have to wait here for our aircraft to come back. And we're still not even to Alpha yet. Alright, so the destroyer just smoked up, but we still have a radar for, like, still 2 minutes. It's very nice. What was it, a 4-minute radar? Yeah, I think so, actually. That's insane. Haven't had any aircraft to shoot down. Remember, you have no fighter coverage at all. Everything you shoot down will be from your own AA guns. I do have my secondaries and AA guns increased with health with that module I can apply to increase their survivability. It's plus 100% health to all secondaries and AA guns. Really nice on this ship, honestly. So this is one ship that or carrier, I should say, that I don't go full fire prevention and flood prevention or survivability. It's just she needs work in so many other areas. Alright, so our torpedo bombers are coming back online. So let's start getting them out as soon as we can, as our dive bombers come back as well. But yeah, the Javelin's already gone down. Agano's half health. What does that Colorado look like? Oop, that's not what I wanted. Colorado is pretty much fine. She healed a bit and repaired all her fires, or they just went out at this point. So there's not much change there. Let's get all of our torpedo bombers together and start heading this way. And our dive bombers are just now finally landing. So let's see what else we have here. What's our next target going to be? Could probably finish off the Colorado again. I don't remember which one of these ships actually has the better torpedo damage resistance percentile. Not like we can shoot more than one at a time. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's shoot more than one at a time. See just what happens. Get our dive bombers out as well. Alright, so our torpedo bombers. I'm going to send Squad 1 towards the Colorado, Squad 2 towards the Andre Doria, and Squad 3 towards the Gneisenau. Now, splitting them up may mean I lose more aircraft, but I want to see what happens when I just use 2 torpedoes each on them. And then I can come back with my dive bombers and light fires on them. So I already lost 1 member of Squad 3. So there goes Squad 2, 30,000 damage. There goes Squad 1, 25,000, and I got 1 hit on Gneisenau now as well. Alright, so let's do Squad 4 on Andre Doria, Squad 5 on Gneisenau now, and Squad 5 on get some fires on them now. We finally capped A. 7 destroyed secondary guns, destroyed an engine and set a fire. And what are we going to do against Gneisenau now? Torpedo tube, secondary guns, engine, Colorado, 4 more secondary guns destroyed. Okay, so this thing, the bombs just destroy secondary guns left and right. Oh, I am surprised we took out engines as well, especially on battleships. Alright, what is our ship doing? Oh, we are not moving. Let's change that. Because we still have that carrier out there. But we just kind of harass battleships a bit. I think I'm going to want to bring out Squad 3 here and sink this Colorado. But I think the Andre Doria and the Gneisenau will go down by themselves. Or at least with a little help from our Gneisenau. Yep, there goes 1. Oh, nope, our Gneisenau went down. That's fine. Squad 2 can take care of Andre Doria. Or maybe I should do it the other way around. You do that one. And Squad 2 can take care of Colorado there. And what is the enemy Yushen doing? Oh, she's just sitting over there. Okay. It's actually just down to me and 1 other battleship, which is behind, well, this one, and will probably go down soon. Just like that. Well, there goes the Andre Doria. And now I need my dive bombers out because I need a first strike on this carrier before it spots me. Because right now I'm detected by aircraft, but I am pretty much unspotted by ships. Alright, so there goes Squad 2. Torpedoes away. They were actually spread out from the fighter as well, and we still managed to nail her. Nice. Alright, I need all my torpedo, or my dive bombers out, please. There she is. What's she being spotted by? Oh, this fighter. Okay. And we're going to go all the way down here. I'm going to wait for my other torpedo bomber to land before I relaunch those as well. Just because if I don't, they will never catch up to each other. And I guess we're going to have to go to manual maneuvering because autopilot doesn't want to work. So dive bombers are en route. Let's get them all together. Torpedo bombers are almost ready as well. Might as well start launching them because by the time the first 2 launch, the other one will be ready to launch. And there is Yushen. Do we have incoming aircraft? Yes, we do. Okay, cool. Okay, so you follow there, you follow there, you attack. And I will wait till the last moment to pop my Def AA. There we go, all 3 of them out. We got some nice Sea Whiz animations here. And I didn't notice it before, but that's actually a really, really short Def AA, so I just kind of wasted that, unfortunately. I thought I'd have more time for that. Okay, well, we're going to have some fun time trying to dodge these. How are you doing? Drop some bombs. And let's get some torpedoes in the action as well. And now let's just try and dodge as many armaments as possible. So we got our Sea Whiz activated again. Shot down 1. As you can see, the helicopters themselves don't have that much health, but they're just so slow that they stay in the range for so long that it doesn't really matter. There's some torpedoes. Actually, my torpedoes will launch pretty soon. We're gonna repair that. There goes my torpedoes, and there she goes. Awesome. So let's see how we did. 248,000 damage, 4 ships sunk, 29 torpedo hits, 53 bomb hits, 9 aircraft shot down, 8 fires, 2 floodings, 12 modules destroyed and 1 capped base, 10,000 base XP, 17,000 free XP. Considering this is, I'm pretty sure it's a Prism ship, she does get access to the free XP bonus, so that's why you get so much. And let's see how we did. So 85,000 on the Yushen, 50,000 on Gneisenau, 26 on the other Gneisenau, 40,000 on Andre Doria, and 45,000 on Colorado. So this just pretty much just mops up battleships really good. And you can see how many secondary guns I was destroying. Like that one, was it Andre Doria that I got 7 secondary guns destroyed in 1 strike? It was ridiculous. Even the engines, I was taking out engines left and right. So fires did 20,000 damage, torpedoes did 189,000 damage, and bombs did 37,000 damage. So your torpedoes are going to be very, very nice, but your bombs definitely have their perks. It's not a bad ship, it's just the slow speeds of the ship and the aircraft are really turn downs for me. I enjoy fast strike aircraft, so that's why I like Lining so much. With that, I will wrap up today's video. Yes, it has been a very, very long video, but there was a lot to go over. So I'm glad you stuck around to watch. And again, thank you so much for watching. As of right now, there's nothing new to go over. But as soon as there is, we will have a video on that. So again, thank you for watching and take care.